The Human Rights Commission has expressed concern over the growing intensity of student protests at various universities across the country. It has called for calm and challenged relevant stakeholders to resolve the crisis. Well, to discuss this further, we joined in the studio by SA Human Rights Commission Commissioner, Advocate Mohammed Ameermia. Advocate, good morning, and thank you very much for your time this morning.
Good morning.
Why have you felt as a commission at this stage to really come out publicly asking for calm, asking for a resolution on this involving all stakeholders? Why particularly now?
Mr. Moyani, it's good morning to you and to your listeners. Let me contextualize the question, and that is we've been monitoring this Fees Must Fall campaign from last year. So it's not only now. We've been monitoring the whole scenario that is playing out itself up till last night. We're quite worried because we are saying to ourselves that, we need to call on everybody to now basically, be calm about it, and let's start talking to each other. At the moment, we're talking over each other, and there's every expert that's coming on with every different kind of a scenario, explaining those kind of things, which is untenable. We are saying basically we need to have a structured approach to how we're going to adopt how we're going to approach this problem. We need to find lasting solutions on this matter itself. What we are saying is it must be a sustainable solution. It must be, we understand the plight of the disadvantaged students, and they're really, really suffering out there. Really, but the reality, the students haven't got a platform to talk, and that's the unfortunate thing. We as the Human Rights Commission have a mediation role to play. We're going to be engaging. We want to engage with all the stakeholders right now to say that how is it that the Human Rights Commission itself can make a difference to find that lasting solution. That's our main priority at the moment in terms of our value.
Are you currently thinking about how that engagement, what form it will take? Are you going to set up a special investigation? Is the Commission clear about how to get this engagement going?
I think that the terms of reference on that will basically, we want to look into the Commission of Inquiry into Higher Education, and we want to make an input there as a Human Rights Chapter 9 body.
So you don't want to create a separate platform, you want to be part of these ones that already exist? We
want to be part of that one, and we want to call on the student leadership itself and the students themselves to come forward and say to us, these are our problems on the ground. Okay, but we are saying we want to listen to what you have to say. We want to factor that into our main submission in the Commission of Inquiry itself, like what we did in Luandle. We think on the one hand that is, there's talk about the Bill of Rights giving expression to freedom of expression, freedom to protest peacefully. But on the other hand, there's also the other rights in the Bill of Rights that are being overlooked. That is the right to dignity, the right to life, the right to the security of persons, and the right to property and infrastructure. We are worried because not so long ago, the South African Human Rights Commission released a report on the National Investigative Hearings on the impact of protests of action on the right to basic education, where 40 or 50 schools to the value of 500 million rand were burned to the ground. And these were precious resources that we have. The universities, last night we heard what happened at Wits University, which is quite also problematic in the sense that we're asking for calmness so that we can talk to these issues rather than burn everything and then start all over.
Another concern that you've raised is about police heavy-handedness, and we've seen students complaining about that, saying we have a right to protest constitutionally, as you've just said, but we are being met with heavy-handedness by the police. Is the Human Rights Commission, as well as part of this engagement process that you are proposing now, that you're going to be part of, also going to put a spotlight on how police are conducting themselves in how they are responding or managing the situation on campuses?
No, absolutely. I think what needs to be understood very clearly is that the United Nations Human Rights Committee has already pronounced on the matter about the serious high-handedness approach of the South African police around protest-related matters. We are saying that they must do it within a framework of a human rights bias, in the sense that we have a memorandum of understanding with the South African Police Services. We have over and over said to them, we need to, they need to be engaging with us to understand how to address those kind of issues. And you see, the problem now is that in the heat of the moment, there's a method of madness to everything. We are asking for calmness, and within that framework, we want to address the whole transformation on on the higher education sector itself, so that, you know, the socio-economic right that's involved in the right to education must be given its content, so that, you know, our children, who are our future, must be given that space to take their rightful place in society. These are our future leaders. We need to be listening to them. We cannot have these high-handed things like 1976, where the riot police just came and shot and killed people. We don't want that, and we are telling the police not to do it as well.
Thank you very much. The South African Human Rights Commissioner, Mohammed Ameermia, there with his insights regarding what's going on in our universities at the moment.